Hey guys, welcome to my Samoan language instruction on Prepositions 2. Here's some prepositions I'd like you to memorize and pause the video. So you thought you had it off easy. Here's some additional prepositions. I would like you to write these on flashcards and work on these in a timely manner so that you can use these in your Samoan arsenal, okay? So the topic of discussion today is going to be more perplexing than the last two slides. I feel like the last two slides were a little bit more easy and they're a little more obvious on when to use them and how to use them. These kinds of prepositions are a little bit more difficult to know what they are and when to use them. So basically what I'm going to be teaching you is some a little bit more convoluted prepositions. Okay, they're a little bit more difficult. So these predicate phrases as prepositions. So the kind of prepositions that I'm talking about include a tense marker, a predicate, and a preposition. So just to review, a tense marker, we should know what that is. That tells us what tense we're speaking in. So these tense markers will start off our predicate phrases that act as prepositions, okay? And then the predicate, if you don't remember what that is, that talks about my verb and subject, okay? And then a preposition kind of shows where the location of the action is taking place. So you include all of these three elements and you just stick them into the preposition part of the sentence structure that you know, okay? So again, we'll work on that, but just know that these kinds of prepositions that I'm talking about in this video consist of these three things, okay? And so oftentimes, the non-past tense marker is often used in these expressions, okay? So the non-past tense marker, what I'm saying here is the a tense marker, or maybe the te. But in these cases, it's usually going to be the a, okay? So just remember that normally when I use these kinds of prepositions, I started off with an a, okay? And then another thing that you need to know is that directional adverbs are commonly used to give added information. So if I want to tell you additional information on where the action's taking place, I can throw a directional adverb in there right after my verb, okay? So let's just kind of walk you through some of these. So the way that I say facing in Samoan, well, let's do the English example. I stayed in the house facing the store. So that's the kind of facing that I'm talking about. So in Samoan, the way that I say that is sa o nofo I le fale e fasanga I le fale o loa. Okay? Sa o nofo I le fale e fasanga I le fale o loa. So, whoops, sorry. So if you know, you'll see your basic sentence structure here. You have a tense marker, then I have my doer, then I have my verb or my predicate phrase, and then I have ile. That right there is a prepositional phrase, and ile fale is I guess an extension of that prepositional phrase. Ile fale. So if I wanted to, I could say I stayed in the house, but I want to indicate to whoever I'm talking to where that house is taking, or where I live. So you throw in another prepositional phrase that it kind of acts as a predicate because it has these three things. It has a tense marker, a predicate, and a prepositional phrase in it. So what I'm saying is I could end the sentence off at I stayed in the house, okay? And I would just say sa o nofo I le fale. But we're extending our sentence structure to indicate where that house is that I'm staying in, okay? So hopefully that makes sense. And what I'm saying is facing the house, and so I say e fa'asanga ile fale oloa. Okay, so e fa'asanga ile. This part right here that I've indicated is the facing part. So that all that underlined part is what I'm teaching you, the new thing. Okay, and then the store is le fale oloa. Okay, awesome. So let's move on to the next one. So opposite. So I'm going to the house opposite the chapel. So that's the kind of opposite that I'm using. And the way that you say opposite in Samoan, at least in this case, is e fa'afe ngaima. So o te alu atu I le fale, e fa'afe ngaima le fale sa. Okay, so we're going to go through these a little bit faster to kind of condense our video's time. So near, they live in the house near the temple. And the way that I say near in Samoan is e lata lata I, or I could throw an ane in there as well. Okay, so the example sentence is lato te nanofo. Remember, the nanofo is the plural version of nofo. Ile fale e lata lata ile malo malo sa. Okay, so hopefully this is kind of helping. If you need to, pause the video, go back, rewind where you need to. Okay, so next two, I'm going to highlight these so that if you do need to go back, that you'll know exactly when I'm talking. So I can say next to quite a few different ways. Okay, so in this example, I'm going to say e sasoo ane I. You could also say e tala ane I. Okay, so the way that I'm saying this is Mary stays next to the kitchen. And a way that I can say that is o lo'o nofo mele ile poto, or sorry, potu e sasoo ane ile potu ai. Okay, so sorry for that. It's o lo'o nofo mele ile potu e sasoo ane ile potu ai. Okay, so the next one is next to, and this is a little bit different. It's indicating to you it's on this side of the chair, or it's next to, but it's on this side, the way that's closest to you. So I use a directional adverb in there, mai, to indicate that. So I say e sasoo mai I. Okay, so bring the chair next to or on this side of the table. And the way that I would say that in Samoan is au mai le no foa le na e sasoo mai I le lau lau. Okay, and this one is on the far side. It's next to, but it's on the far side of whatever you're talking. It's not closer to you, it's further. So the missionaries are studying in the room next to, on the far side of the bedroom. And the way that I would say this in Samoan is e sasoo atu I. O lo'o a'u whaifeau I le potu e sasoo atu I le potu moi. Okay, so let's move on. Again, pause the video if needed. And then we also have another way to say next to on this side, and next to on the far side. So to be honest, I kind of like this way of saying it a little bit more. And I think I heard this maybe a little bit more, but you'll hear both, so you need to know both. So again, you'll hear the e tala ane in this part, or again, from the last side, you could say e pito ane I. And the way that I'm saying that is there is a store next to the market, and the way I would say that in Samoan is o lo'o iai se fale o loa e tala ane I le maketi. Okay, so moving on, next to on this side, the second way to say it is e tala mai I, or you could say e pito mai. Okay, there's another way of saying it. Okay, so there is a tree next to on this side of the river. And the way that I'd say that in Samoan is o lo'o iai se la'au e pito mai le vai tafe, or you could say tala mai, either one. And the one exception is you could say e tala e pito ane, or e tala mai e pito mai. And in this case, you can't say the pito atu. You can say the tala atu, but you can't say the pito atu. I made that mistake on my mission, and they corrected me, and they said there's no such thing as pito atu. They were able to understand, it's just for some reason there's no pito atu. Okay, so just remember that in this case, you'll want to use the e tala atu I. So that means next to on the far side. So our car is parked next to on the far side of the church. Olo tato ta'avale e fa'atu, or you could say paka, e tala atu I le falisa. Okay, and then furthest from, this is a good one to know. And for some reason you can say e tu pito atu instead of just pito, and that means furthest from. So the boy lives in the house furthest from the road. The way that I would say that is e nofo le tama I le fale e tu pito atu I le awala. Again, don't ask me why you can use the tu pito atu and not the pito atu. Maybe it's because in this case, the pito atu, when you throw a tu pito atu, it means furthest from, and they might get confused that you're saying, oh, it's not next to it, but it's furthest from. So maybe they're trying to clarify that. So if you use the pito atu, they might think you're saying tu pito atu, and that means furthest from. So maybe that's the reason why they don't use the pito atu. Okay, so without, these are a little bit different than the ones that you've been seeing. But again, they're the same principle. So without, he arrived home without any food. And the way that I would say that in Samoan is e au noa ma. So na ia tau nu'u I le fale e au noa ma ni mea ai. Okay, moving on to our next one, about or concerning. The class listened to the story about self-reliance, and the way that I would say about in Samoan is e winga I. And sa fa'alongo le vasenga I le tala e winga I ola tu toa tasi. Okay? And then in accordance with is e tusama, and the example sentences are he did it according to the law, and na ia whaia le mea e tusama le tula fono. Okay? So let me say that one more time. Na ia whaia le mea e tusama le tula fono. Okay, so hopefully these are helping. Again, I went through them very fast. I encourage you to pause the video, write these down, come up with some of your own sentences, and then try using the same principles. Okay, just remember you use a normal sentence structure, and then you add these elements that I've taught you to kind of clarify where it's taking place. With exception to these last ones, it's not telling you where it's taking place, but it kind of helps solidify or clarify some additional information that you need to express to the person that you're talking to. Okay, so this time we're not going to be practicing sentences. Oh, okay, let's recap real quick. Just remember these are the things that I mentioned in the video, okay? And these are the English equivalents. So if you need to, just pause the video here and kind of align each one with the English counterpart, okay? So pause the video here and work on these. Okay, and again, this isn't a comprehensive list because I didn't include a lot of the, I just said ane in a lot of these. I didn't include the atu or the mai in some of them. So depending on if I use a mai or a atu instead of these anes, will change the sentence. So you need to remember what those are, and you can go back earlier in the video to determine what that means if you're having a hard time understanding. Okay, so moving on, the way that we're going to practice this is I'm going to speak, so we're going to be trying to work on your listening comprehension. So see if you can understand this, and if you can't understand this, then I will show you the words. But again, try listening to more and more Samoan. You need to listen to it as much as possible, and that will help tune your ears to start to accept it more. Your mind trains your brain trains itself to filter out things that it doesn't understand. So if you've ever heard another language and it sounds like gibberish, that's your brain just tuning it out. But you need to listen to Samoan more and more so that your brain won't do that. So again, try not to beat a dead horse, but listen to more and more Samoan. So hopefully you can understand this. And here we go. So, sa nofo mele I se fale tuai, sa le fia mele I lona fale. O lea sa ia sue I se isi fale, e lata ane I lona fale mua. Sa ia maua se fale fo, ai sa ia faa noa pea, awa sa tu le fale fo e tala ana I le fale sa mamona. Sa tele le pisa o le au mamona, o lea sa le mawhai ai ona moi mele. Sa alu mele I se fale e suso atu I le fale o lona tama. Ai sa leanga fo I le nā fale ona sa angi malosi a wha I le nā nuu. O lea sa ia nofu ai I se isi fale e whaafea ngai ma le fale misiona a le lotu mamona. Sa fia mele I le nā fale I sina taimi. I se tasi aso sa au mai whaiwhia mamona ma sa la ta lai I le lotu mamona ya mele. Sa ita loa mele ma sa ia alu ese e au noa ma se upu. Sa ia alu I se isi fale e whasanga I le fale o ti ulu. Ai sa leanga fo I le nā mea a wā sa ia I whaiwhia mamona I le nā fale o ti ulu. O lea sa alu mele I le fale e tupito atu I fale uma o le nuu. Sa tu le nā fale I le maunga ma sa le ai nisi fale e lata ane I lona fale. Sa nofo mele I le fale I le maunga ma sa le toi whaanoa o ia. So hopefully you were able to understand that, and if you weren't, here is the written portion of that. And again, I'm not going to spoon feed you the what it's going to say, because I think if you're at this point in the course and you're not able to at least read this information and understand it, then you need to go back and study, and you need to figure out what these words mean. And that process alone will help you more than me spoon feeding you the translation. I promise you. The object of struggling a little bit will help you more than me just giving it to you. If you've heard the term, feed a man a fish and you feed him a day, but if you teach a man how to fish, then you can feed him for a lifetime. So I encourage you, if you have a hard time understanding, that's probably where we want you to be at this point, is to be able to understand that story for the most part. But if you can't understand it, then you need to be able to at least read this information and understand it, and then listen a little bit more in Samoan so that your ears will be a little bit more tuned to it. And so, again, I hope this has helped, guys. I hope you take this information and continue to use the things that you learn on Samoan natives. Okay? Until next time, guys, tofa soifua.